So now we come to what is arguably my most controversial video on YouTube, my top 11 hated anime shows. Allow me to revisit and clarify this countdown a bit. At the start of the countdown I said that the 3 animes I really hate, Death Note, One Piece, and Naruto, would not be on the countdown because it'd be too obvious. Well, allow me to rephrase that. I don't actually hate them, it's just that I find them really annoying and overrated. That I never got into them. The other reason why they weren't included was because, hey, at least I can do a few good jokes out of them in the Clips of Epic Silliness videos. And besides, is it not enough the fact that they were spared from my anger? So let's get down to business. At number 11 I had When They Cry Higurashi. This anime I really thought would appeal to me, but sadly it didn't. It's nothing personal with it, hence why I put it very low on the list. It's a psychodrama, and bear in mind that I'm not a big fan of psychodramas, although Invader Zim is a bit of an exception. Like Baki the Grappler, I just find it too brutal for my taste, and it's nothing personal, it's just not for me. If you like it, great, more power to you. At number 10 I had Fooly Cooly. Believe it or not, I actually did catch the other episodes after I made this countdown. And overall, this anime makes me feel very uncomfortable simply watching it. My opinions about it have not changed, nor will they ever. I think another problem I have with this anime is that it practically never shuts up. There's a theory I go by that an audience is always willing to see weird and bizarre things, but fire too many of them and have nothing else to offer, then it becomes restless. I do like weird, trippy, and surreal things, like Kung Pao Enter the Fist, the Gankutsu Count of Monte Cristo, etc., because they have at least more to offer than just weird oddities. Now, I know some of you might try complaining to me, telling me what's great about it, and etc., but to that I say, don't bother with that, because you're not going to change my mind about it. If I don't like it, I don't like it. Do I make myself clear? Anyway, moving on. At number 9 I had Shin-chan. I'm still surprised this even qualifies as anime. The crappy animation and designs make Hello Kitty look like Hayao Miyazaki. I find it primitive, I find it lacking in good taste, and on top of that, I really don't find it all that funny. Okay, to be fair, there was a joke or two that made me laugh, but that was it, and sadly, nothing saves this anime for me. At number 8 I had Green Green. Oh dear, I hate this anime. Never before have there been 3 idiots that ruined an anime for me. The biggest problem with a show like this is that they try to be risque for the sake of being risque. The fan service alone could not have saved this anime, and that's saying a lot. If it has nothing else good to offer, I'm not interested, and why should I bother with a show like this? At number 7 I had Kakaishi. Yes, I know, it was brought to my attention that I misspelled the title. Whoops. This anime I did watch, and it just didn't appeal to me. A lot was holding it back, in my opinion. As a Reasonable Ranger, I do feel a little bad for dissing this anime after they promoted it. To be fair, I did give it 5 episodes instead of 3 to try and impress me, and it just didn't work out for me, and it just comes off as wasted potential. The only thing I grant this show is the fact that Vic Mignogna and Laura Bailey voiced the leads. They're 2 of my favorite voice actors, and I've met them before more than once. Speaking of which, the countdown was uploaded on December 11th, 2010, and that was the day before I attended SACCON when Laura Bailey appeared. This footage was filmed on that day. I also asked her some questions relating to Team Forster. You'll see that in a later episode of Anime Analysis. But anyway, back on topic. I also hate the grandparents. They get really annoying. What I don't get is that the grandparents act like big shots when in reality their grandkids are essentially the custodians of the anime fighting world. If Yoshimuri and Tokine were Power Rangers, EVA pilots, Z Fighters, Black Knights, or even Gundam pilots, that would make sense as to take pride in it. I mean, my god, talk about a misplaced sense of pride. It did get a little better, but to me it was too late to make a difference in my opinion. The other thing I hate about the show is the crappy theme song. I'm sorry, but it flat out sucks, and whenever I hear it, I press mute because it makes me want to shoot the TV. At number 6, I had Yu-Gi-Oh! GX. I know they say never judge an anime by its title, but any show where they add 2 letters at the end starting with a G, it's basically a dead giveaway that the show sucks, and it's a vain attempt for the creators to try and be extreme and flashy to sucker you in, especially when you're a kid. Dragon Ball GT is definitely guilty of that, but I'll get to that in a bit. The premise doesn't even have the curiosity factor working in its favor. Sure, Kaiba with all his wealth could build an academy for duelists, but then again, who'd want to enroll into that? Jaden and his friends, they're idiots. They're in the Duelist Academy.
Makes it official, then.
It's a scam. It doesn't take an academy to learn the basics of a children's card game. This is not astrophysics, people. It's a mere children's card game. And tell me, how does one major in a children's card game? The anime is a scam within a scam, and as far as my reasons for not liking it, what more do you wish? At number 5, I had Zatchbell. Back when I included Parkle Falgor in the next top 11 anime perverts, I remembered another reason why I never liked the show, but I stupidly forgot to mention in the video. The animation just looks so flat and crappy. It looks so half-assed. This really doesn't do it for me. Zatchbell was one of those animes that I did watch, even though I didn't like it on Toonami, because let's face it, there was nothing else on in that time slot. While Momotos have no strings to hold them down, they certainly don't hold a candle to Pokemon, and that's saying a lot. At number 4, I had Kanoken. Like Green Green, it's risque for the sake of being risque, and that's all there is to it. It's mediocre at best. It's anime shows like this that give anime a big misconception to the non-anime populace. Nothing about this anime works. It's also very forgettable. Anyone who wants to know an example of an anime done poorly, you point them to this anime. This anime makes me facepalm like the remaining 3 on this countdown. At number 3, I had bobobo-bo-bo-bobo. This is an anime show I never got into. I don't see the appeal. I still to this day don't get how such a mouthful of a title got approved. What were the other potential titles for this show? Big-lipped alligator anime? Actually, that would have been kind of catchy. Honestly, I'd rather watch Pee-wee's Playhouse than this show, and that's saying a lot. Even though I don't like Pee-wee's Playhouse, even when I was a kid, at least that show had more legitimately funny gags than Bo-Bo-Bo-Bo. Oh, who gives a crap? Next show. At number 2, I had Bludgeoning Angel Dokuro-chan. Oh, God, I really hate this anime. It's cruel, it's stupid, it's senseless, and overall pointless and moronic. I saw the short 12-episode series at my friend's house about 5 years ago, and I really didn't like it. My opinions about this anime have not changed, nor will they ever. When I uploaded that video, very few people wondered if an OVA series qualified to be on this list. But even a mini-series counts if it's an anime. I've already addressed just about every single problem I have with this anime, and I have nothing new to add about it. Oh, I also got to mention something. You'll recall that I used a brief clip from Eden of the East. At first, some people thought that I don't like it. On the contrary, I do like Eden of the East. You'll see that when I do my top 20 favorite anime shows, that I assure you. I had to use that clip to give a good example of an actual angel, because Dokuro isn't an angel. She's more like an ogress from Japanese mythology, especially since she carries that spiked ogre club and the other one actually has ogre horns. Bear in mind that I have no quarrel if you like the anime shows that I don't. I'm not here to shove my opinions on anime down the throats of my viewers. I'm merely expressing my thoughts and nothing more. Well, that and get some laughs in the process too.
My castle, my rules.
And at number 1, I had Dragon Ball GT. Oh my god. Out of all these other anime shows I listed, Dragon Ball GT takes the cake. This anime is a huge insult not only to Akira Toriyama, but also to the Dragon Ball universe that he created. I was rather brief in my reasons why, because I'm still saving that for a later episode of Anime Analysis on why Dragon Ball GT sucks. And before you ask, no, it won't be uploaded during Anime Analysis Month, but it should be up sometime this year. They say that the GT stands for Grand Tour. Bullshit, it really stands for Grand Treason. Treason to Toriyama's work. GT and GX are those crappy little add-ons they try to add to make it look extreme and cool. Well, it's all bullshit and it's bad for you. Another short explanation I can give why I hate GT is, well, have you ever been to a psychologist and they show you a picture and they ask you what's wrong with this picture? Well, Dragon Ball GT is like the televised equivalent to that. You'd sit through it, they'd ask you what's wrong with this picture, and you'd say, where the hell do I begin? That's how crappy it is, people. You'll see the full review in a later episode of Anime Analysis, that I assure you.
Alright, now you sons of bitches, you know how I feel.
So that was my revisiting of my hated anime shows. Thanks for watching.
Remember what Frederick the Great said. L'audace, l'audace, toujours l'audace.